Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here. Today we have a slightly altered Beastmen, anti-greenskin Beastmen army for you, and we will be taking on the greenskins. And so you can see here my main line, 4 best gore herd, with 3 gore herds sprinkled about. I do have Morgur helping the morale of this side, and a Brachaman of Wild helping the morale of this side. And remember, he does have that, the Brachaman of Wild does have the abilities to completely almost negate vigor as a thing for this entire army here. I do have an Ungor Raider for the center, 2 spearmen here in the back lines, and then I have a kind of a cavalry force in the form of 2 Centaurs with great weapons and some Warhounds with poison. Deployed way over here, hidden away, is just some regular Warhounds. And I'm going to be bringing them against a very well built greenskin army. You can see 4 Savage Orcs kind of being the main line, with 2 Black Orcs sprinkled in the mix. He does have 2 Goblin units over here. It looks like 2 Orc Boar Boy Biggins, the Night Goblin Archers here, not the Rusty Airs. He does have a single Giant, and he has 2 Orc Biggins over here. And you can see, I'm going to know exactly where he is because of these Warhounds. They are hidden, but my enemy cannot see them. So it's definitely like, it was a nice placement here to have them be scouting. So you can see I'm immediately going to come posture up over here, and then he's going to posture up here, and we're going to kind of have a fight over this little patch of land in the middle. And you can see, though, I am bringing my Centaurs around for a wide flank. I don't want to get them into combat in the trees, but if I can kind of catch some units over here, or catch some units as they're leaving the trees, it would be ideal. You can see I'm just trying to get in a line as my cavalry comes around. And I can't see most of this army here. So I'm just posturing up on the side, hoping he doesn't have any archers. You can see my Centaurs here, trying to figure out where they want to go. And I'm just going to charge this Goblin unit, because I feel like he doesn't have anything to respond. And I'm going to get a nice charge here with my Centaurs with great weapons, send some Goblins flying. But I am going to see these Orc Boar Boy Biggins. And that is a fight that I don't want to get into, especially with some just regular Biggins nearby. So I'm going to be pulling out here and running away, waiting for a better time. And you can see kind of staggered engagement here. We're both in the process of kind of making our lines. So you can see we're both angled, and it's going to be weird because basically we're engaging half of our armies one by one. And you can see here, my micro does lapse, and I barely get a charge with some of the Bestigors. These Gore Herd are not going to like this fight against the Black Orc, but that's why I have the Bestigors as well. And really nice placement of this Giant. Get this Giant in against armored elite infantry, and that's where it's going to pay the most dividends there. You can see him getting ready to vomit on my dudes. Black Orcs here in the middle, and you can see this line just engaging. And again, this cavalry got that free charge in, and now they're just going to run around the flanks. You can see my Warhounds getting in here. Moving my archers over here to fire at this Giant. And I am dropping Devolve, trying to just hit the leadership of these guys. Savage Orcs coming in to support. You can see my Gore Herd very much suffering. And why I cast Devolve here is because I had this rear charge waiting with the Chaos Warhounds. Slightly mistimed. I should have waited on the Devolve just by a little bit, because you can see there it ends. And so where I probably might have been able to rout these Savage Orcs because of the Devolve and the rear charge, they're going to survive a bit longer than I want to. And you can see just how badly this Bestigor is dying. I'm bringing my Spearmen into support here, and my Ungors are just still firing away. You can see still just debating where I want to go with these guys, and holding this line in reserve. I am going to bring Morgur. Ooh, nice. Foot of Gork there. Sending Black Orcs and Gore Herd just flying. As these Black Orcs don't even care if they're flying through the air. They're going to cut them up anyways. These guys are just so cool. Oh, man. That was a great Foot of Gork. You can see my Bestigor slightly less hurt. They were more clumped on this side. But that Gore Herd is routing off the field. Brachaman of Wild here. Finally, these Savage Orcs route off. But I probably could have gotten them way sooner if I'd timed that Devolve right. And these Chaos Warhounds still trying to find a nice place to sit. Same thing with my cavalry, and same thing with his cavalry. You can see he's spent a lot of resources here just defending this flank, not wanting me to get through with my Centaurs. And that's letting this battle over here just kind of play out as is. You can see these Black Orcs getting a charge on these Gore Herd, but my Bestigor here are getting a charge into them. So definitely ideal for me. You can see there Vile Tide coming down. Just wanted to make sure everybody was up on their vigor. You can see these Night Goblin Archers are firing, so I'm going to turn my Chaos Warhounds over here. You can see posturing up here, and he is committing a ton of resources to fight these guys. And I'm just gonna pull back again. I think I'm gonna get a cheeky charge here into these Orc Boar Boy Biggins, and then I'm gonna see all this stuff left around, and I'm just gonna pull out. But you can see I did a ton of damage there, almost routing off that guy. But he does get a nice thing here, and he's going to catch a ton of Centaurs while the rest pull out. You can see my Spearmen still in reserve. Morgur here in the middle, fighting against more Black Orcs in the middle, fighting against Morgur. And he does kind of win the center with the Savage Orcs and the Black Orcs and Wurzag keeping this up. But I did pull one unit over here from this line over to support this battle here. And they'll be getting into combat against some like winded troops, so that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. Just really deny this left flank. And you can see here still chasing with a ton of these units. This Gore Herd is routing though, but I do have some close Spearmen support. A lot of my Centaurs got out, but a lot of them also didn't. So not looking too good almost anywhere. This giant finally breaks from the extended Ungor Raider fire. And I'm going to pull these guys in against this stuff. You can see a Devolve coming down, trying to break the leadership of these guys, with then a nice rear charge from all these units. You can see these Night Goblin Archers doing a ton of damage there to my Ungor Raiders, and my left flank has just kind of disappeared. I'm pulling out, dragging all of these troops here, when really these troops should be running back this way, collapsing on this, breaking the morale of my Bestigors. They're off here chasing my Centaurs. So definitely good for me. You can see my Bratium in the wild still over here, still very healthy. And these troops in the middle are routing. Over here I do have some Warhounds, and these guys really need to be pulled in against these archers. Nice charge from these Orc Boar Boy Biggins into the back of my Bestigor, and they do have armor-piercing damage, so they're going to do very well against them, especially in a rear charge situation. But you can see Morgur here raising up his Chaos Spawn finally, and they're going to be coming in here and tearing these guys up. You can see over here Spearmen just running away from these Biggins. I don't want that fight. That's not going to go well for me. So you can see me just constantly pulling out here and just running. Keeping my high mobility Centaurs where they need to be highly mobile. But my micro does lapse, and they're going to get into the side of these Biggins. I really can't leave them there long, or they will be destroyed. You can see the Giant is coming back, but this middle fight is slowly getting better. He's surrounded Morgur, but Morgur doesn't care, and I'm going to bring all these troops in. You can see here we go, dropping from my opponent. Nice spell there. But my Chaos Spawn they're just going to get in here and start terrorizing these troops, or causing fear in these troops. And you can see Wurzag not liking this fight against Morgur, and these Biggins don't really like to be in extended combat against infantry. They don't have the best melee stats. And you can see Morgur just getting trashed. Devolve coming down here is going to hurt all of their leadership. I do have some Chaos Spawn over here, and I sent them to go try and deal with the Giant with the help of some Ungor Spears. Finally cleaning up those Biggins, so all the enemy's movement, or mobility, is off the field. I'm going to get another charge on these Goblin units, just taking any free damage where I can take it, where I can get it. And now you can see these Orc Biggins, 1,400 gold, barely used in this battle. And really, it's just going to be their morale that's going to kill them when Wurzag, you can see Wurzag here routing. And this Giant is going to go down. And when it does, it's going to trigger some nasty army losses for the Greenskins. You can see the Bratium in the wild still very healthy. And Morgur in here, still with 2 more Chaos Spawn spawns. You can see the Biggins routing off the field as well. And then that guy's going to die, and it's going to end right there. These Biggins don't want to fight anymore. Definitely, well, they actually would be pretty good against the two remaining Chaos Spawn. Yeah, but you can see here some of these Bestigors doing pretty good. Ungor Raider doing its job by taking out the Giant. And yeah, you can see just really it's that Bestigor core that does a lot of the heavy lifting. One of the Gore herds actually did pretty well. But against Savage Orcs, they're just going to lose. Savage Orcs are just such a superior unit. And cheaper. And you can see here my Centaurs, 30 kills each. But they were still very, very healthy. So they could have done a lot more damage if that game had lasted into the later parts. Would have been very critical. With their immunity to vigor as well, but in this case with the British Shaman of the Wild, it does matter less. You can see Wurzag here getting a couple of nice foots of Gork, and here he goes. You can see these goblins doing their job, beat shielding. These Orc Biggins getting decent kills, but really just on fodder, and on some Gore Herd, I guess, was what they fought on that right flank just for a second. Would have been much better if they just crashed through the middle, or even just protected the back lines. Kept those Night Goblin archers alive. You can see the Giant here getting 30 kills. Definitely shut that down with the Spearmen and the Archer Fire. And you can see these Black Orcs doing very well as well. A much better unit than the Bestigor herd. But yeah, anyways, great game to my opponent Need. I really like this army composition. I think it works really well against the Beastmen. And yeah, I hope to see him again. Anyways, thanks for watching, and that's that.